All right, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of a Champ podcast, episode number 62. Topic for today is building the man, right? This is definitely a topic that I've been wanting to talk about. I've kind of mentioned it previous on other podcasts, but I definitely wanted to talk about it because it is something that is, I would say, essential to one of the mindsets that I have that I've developed probably within the last, maybe like roughly like 4 to 5 months now, and it has definitely been a game changer when it comes to changing your perspective. And like I said, ultimately, cultivating a um, undefeatable mindset, right? An undefeated mindset. These are things that I have developed, and building the man is one of those things. So that is what I'm going to go ahead and discuss today. If you're watching this, make sure to go ahead and leave a like on the video, as well as you make sure you go ahead and leave a comment on your favorite part, or if you have something to add to the conversation, make sure you go to talk about that as well. Give me one second. Hold up. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. So when it comes to building the man, the way I got this idea was I wrote down, and this is something that I practice or I try to practice every single morning. It is the reasons for me getting up this morning, right? So I have a set list that I've written down, and I've cultivated this list over about 5 months. Um, for the most part, I got pretty much majority of what I wanted to get down the first go around, and ever since then, I've just been adding little things to it. So I'll go over the list, and I'll specifically go into one of those things that are on the list. Yeah, so I have at the top of the paper it says, why am I getting up this morning, right? So the first thing on this list is going to be, I have to be the leader that my family needs, right? My family needs a leader. It is simple as that. Every single family needs a leader, and that is for the most part going to be the men in the family. And if you have a lacking leader, lacking man in the family, it's going to be something you can't miss, right? It is going to be something that is so essential that if it's not there, there's automatically going to be lacking aspects. Um, whether it's the discipline, whether it's the competition aspect, there's things that the leader, the man, is supposed to go ahead and add to the interactions, whether this is, like I said, the father role or this is the husband role. There's certain things that he needs to fulfill, right? So, being the leader, or just being the leader, being a son, right? Being a son is also one of those things that you still need to be a leader. The leader should obviously be the father, but sometimes the sons need to be the leaders, right? So, with that being said, first thing is because I need to be the leader that my family needs, right? Next one on the list is going to be I have people to make proud, right? So when I get up this morning, I have people to make proud. This kind of gives me a different mindset. Hold on, give me one second. This kind of gives me like I said, more of an undefeated mindset. Like I said, it reminds me the clarity of what I need to focus on early on in the morning, right? So this is I have people to make proud. There's people that I need to make proud. So this is going to be my family. This is going to be people I haven't even met yet, right? This is going to be my wife, my kids, right? I need to make those people proud, and the first step of making those people proud, whether they're in my life or whether they're not in my life, is to take the steps necessary today. That is building the man, right? So that is like I said. In essence, these are all going to go back to building the man at the end of the day, right? It is going to be either be in the form of mindsets, the physical aspects, like I said, the even the mental aspects, right? Just the focus, the automatic focus that is needed. So um, those are the first two. People to make proud, and I need to be the leader that my family needs. Next one is because I have people depending on me, right? And this is, and I always say this: this is an intrinsic pressure that I place on myself, right? So you have extrinsic pressures and you have intrinsic pressures. Intrinsic pressures, right? A lot of people have a lot of extrinsic pressures, which come from the outside world, and they have no intrinsic pressure. So they're disciplined and structured in a way which is because of the extrinsic pressures, but they have no intrinsic drive or motivation or self discipline to keep going, even when the natural structure of your day is lacking, right? So this is an intrinsic pressure that I place on myself that allows me to be responsible for the potential of others around me, right? So this could be, like I said, either the people around me right now or the people that I'm going to eventually influence in the future, right? So I need to, of course, act as if I have people depending on me. I need to, yeah, like I said, be a leader, be a natural born leader, and um, like I said, take the steps necessary every single day to make sure I'm always acting in accordance to that. Because the second that I'm not, I'm letting people down. I'm automatically letting the people that are depending on me down, right? And like I said, these people that I this intrinsic pressure that I placed on myself is is people that I haven't even met yet. People that don't even know my name yet. People that don't even know my purpose yet. This is how deep it actually goes for me personally. Like I said, I feel like everyone should create their whys for why they're doing what they're doing. Give yourself some purpose. Give yourself some goal. Give yourself some clarity because everyone needs it at the end of the day, right? So that is the first three I have. Next one is going to be to inspire and empower the ones around me of my influence. This kind of encompasses all the first three, but essentially, I want if anyone knows me, my purpose is going to be to inspire and empower the ones around me. Obviously, you have inspire, right? Oh shit, right there, right? And you have evolve to inspire right over here as well. So, like I said, it is a big thing for me. It is definitely a powerful word, powerful word. Jesus Christ, powerful word um, that I've always I've always wanted to emulate, I guess, right? So, yeah, the ability to inspire and empower, right? Empower is one of those things that is interesting as well, right? So, what it means to me to inspire somebody is to like I said, be a perfect example for that person, right? So, I want to inspire my friends by being the best version that I possibly can be. I want to inspire the ones that are watching me right now because I want to make them I want to empower them to really understand that they could do this too if they put their mind to it, or they could do whatever they want to do if they put their mind to it. That's the empower aspect. I want to be inspiring is being an example. Empowering is a showing and allowing. I wouldn't say exactly allowing, showing and encouraging people that they can do it themselves. So, the fifth one on the list, I think so, or the fourth one, my bad, is to inspire and empower the ones around me that have my influence. And if you're just getting in here, basically what I'm talking about is this right here. Shit. I'm talking about the reasons for me getting up this morning, and this all is tied into building the man, right? So the next one on the list is going to be to pursue what I'm passionate about. This is also part of building the man, right? If you're not clear with what you're passionate about, I recommend you become very, very clear on the things you like and don't like very, very soon. Because quite frankly, you're missing out on life because you haven't tried enough things to establish whether you like it or whether you don't like it, or even if you're doing the things that you actually like doing, you actually enjoy doing, actually have a passion for doing, right? So this is not a problem for me. I do this every single day. I do it every single day. And not a day goes by where I do not pursue something I'm passionate about. So things that I'm personally passionate about. I'm passionate about going to the gym, making progress physically. Um, I'm I'm passionate by playing basketball. This is something I do very very often. If you know me, I'm passionate about editing videos. Creating this platform for myself, right? Whether this is doing research, at the very least, doing research. I'm passionate about reading. I love to read. So that is another one of my passions. I'm passionate about a bunch of other things, but just make sure you're doing things that you're passionate about every single day, right? Because if you see that you're not doing anything you're passionate about on a day to day basis, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel less fulfilled. You're going to feel like something is lacking, right? And the last thing you want to do is feel like something is lacking, right? All right. Getting into the next thing. The reason for me getting up this morning is to be a student of life and to learn. This is essential when it comes to building the man, right? Every single day is another opportunity for you to learn, right? Every single day is another opportunity to accept life as it is and to be a student and understand that life is nothing more than just a long experience, and you need to extract as much information and knowledge that you possibly can from this experience that we call life, right? So, with that being said, there's always going to be room. You gotta almost humble yourself. You don't know everything, right? And anyone that thinks they know everything knows nothing at all, right? Um, you almost gotta submit to life and understand that there's going to be plenty of things that you do not know, and that is okay. But not only do you need to learn the lessons that life is teaching you, but you also need to go ahead and learn different things that life isn't exactly forcing you to learn. That makes sense, right? So part of the self development space is going to be reading, is going to be doing the research on the things that you deem to be worth your time and valuable information that you can use um, in a different endeavor, right? So yeah, the reason for me getting up this morning is to be a student of life and to learn. So that is that in short. The next thing is the entire emphasis of this entire video. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to read it out completely. I'm going to read it out completely, and then I'm going to break it down the way that I see it and the way that I talk to myself about it, right? All right. So the reason for me getting up this morning is to build the man my wife and children will love and respect. That is a statement. That is a statement that I say every single morning, but I do not say it like that. The way I say it personally is like this. The reason for me getting up this morning is to build the man, right? Now, what does that mean to me, right? What that means to me is all the things that I mentioned, right? Just making sure I'm acting in accordance to what I say I'm doing and doing it consistently, right? And if I fall down or don't do it or feel lazy, feel tired, I still end up doing it, right? I get past it. I get up from those things, right? I do not let those things hold me down and hold me back, right? So building the man, to me, that means a lot. Now, to you watching this video, what does that mean to you? When you're building the man, what does that look like to you? What it looks like to me is I'm laying down the bricks every single day to build my empire. That's what it looks like personally, right? So what does that look like to you? What actions do you have to take? What are things that you need to implement? What are habits you need to develop in order to build the man, right? And like I said, these are things you need to take. You need to lay down a brick every single day, right? Every single day is another day that you can lay down a brick. Just make sure to lay down a brick, right? Um, this could be a little thing. This could be big things, right? Like I said, at the very least, I'm going to the gym 6 days a week, so I'm laying down a brick at least 6 days a week. So that is solid to say the least. But of course, we're putting more work than that. Come on now. So yeah, that's how I break it down. I break it down to build the man. What does that mean to me? And something that I also realize is this: the only way that I'm going to get anything that I want in this life, truly, is to build a man first. It all comes back down, and I said this on countless podcasts, right? It all comes down to building the self. Are you really building the life that you want to live? Are you building the character that you want to be? Right? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. These are conversations that, like I said, you need to have with yourself, whether you're writing it down or whether you're saying it out loud. I would say that does a lot more than just honestly living it in your thoughts. Quite frankly, writing it down or even talking aloud. It's going to do different things. Thankfully, I have this podcast, and I also have the other ways that I do it that allow me to really um, come to a very, very clear understanding of what building the man is to me, right? So, build the man, right? I build the man. Why am I building the man in general, right? One of the things that I see in my life that I want from my life that is going to bring me fulfillment is to eventually have a wife one day, right? To eventually have the feminine energy and a woman in my life that I can rely on and is going to be able to push me in every single way that I need and is going to be able to do all the things that I need her to do while I'm doing all the things that she wants me to do as well, right? Playing our roles. Um, but we're getting into that, right? The only way I'm going to be able to have a wife, to have a high quality wife, is to build the man, right? It all comes down to building the man. What does that look like, right? I'm kind of reiterating these things, but they're needed. They need to be reiterated. So the only way I'm gonna get my wife is to build the man, right? So what comes after I build the man is I get my wife. What happens after I get my wife, I eventually have my children, right? So I build the man, and eventually when I build the man up to the point where I can attract my wife, I can build a beautiful relationship with my wife and eventually have children, right? That's going to bring me fulfillment in my life. Now, what you want in your life and what brings you fulfillment is going to be different than mine, maybe, right? I can understand a lot of people are going to resonate with this, but everybody has their own things, whether they want kids or whether they don't want kids, whether they want a wife, whether they want many wives, or whether they want just girlfriends, whatever it is, whatever you want, right? Ultimately, what it comes down to is this: you need to build a man and get women, period. That's all it comes down to, right? Um, yeah, so one of the things that I thought about today when I was working out. Shout out to Anthony. We were working out earlier today. Literally right before the podcast. Literally right before the podcast, I came in at 7 o'clock. So I started a little bit. I started a little bit late. To be fair with you, my bad about that. But I was getting back from the gym with Anthony. So talking about that for a second, we were hitting chest and tries, right? So come on now, you know what time it is. Come on, you already know what time it is. So what I hit in chest and tries, right? I was thinking to myself, I was like, and this is gonna be interesting because not many people think like this, quite frankly. I'm like, I'm building the chest so my children can lay on my chest, so my wife can lay on my chest and be comfortable, and for there to be actual some substance and some actual strength in that chest, right? These are things that not many people think about, right? I want to have those moments where like my daughter or my son is like, "Wow, you're so strong. How did you get so strong?" Right? That I want those moments like that. So that's why I'm building the man. When I'm at the gym, I'm thinking about moments like that. I'm thinking so far in advance. Like this could be 8 to 10 years before I have kids, right? But I'm still thinking like that because that is why I'm building the man. You got to create reasons that are bigger than yourself, right? I'm thinking about my wife. I'm thinking about my children that I don't even have yet. This is gonna give me more fuel to add to the fire, right? This is gonna give me a bigger why. This is going to allow me to get up faster from my downfalls because I have things that I'm chasing. I have my why. My why. That's ultimately comes down to. One book I'm going to recommend, and it is kind of repetitive, but it kind of goes back to why I think the way I do. It is called Start with Why. This book by Simon Sinek. I got recommended to this book by one of my old mentors named Jerry. Shout out to Jerry. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a book worth reading, and that book gave me the inspiration um, to build this channel. Quite frankly, which it is slightly different than what I expected, quite frankly, but it is exactly what I want to do, quite frankly. So, yeah, build the man, fellas. Build the man. Build the man that your wife and children will love and respect. That's all it comes down to. All right, getting into the next thing, which is also going to be part of building the man, right? Is going to be why am I getting up this morning to build meaningful relationships? While building the man, I need to build the characters in which people are actually want to have a meaningful relationship with me. And quite frankly, for me personally, right, there's nothing worth more than pursuing a meaningful relationship in this life. Um, I want to get to the place where I want to get to enjoy those meaningful relationships in a different way, um, doing better things. Quite frankly, right. This is adding the fuel to the fire, like I said, right. So I get up every single morning to build meaningful relationships. Like I said, having a less than meaningful relationship in this life is not worth having. It's not worth your time, energy, focus, attention, whatever. Right? It's not worth any of those things. So make sure every single interaction you have in this life is actually worth meaning. That's why I don't do hookup culture. That's why I don't do short term interactions. That's why I don't have any fake friends. That's why I don't have any of that shit. Because quite frankly, like I said, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The next thing on my list is why am I getting up this morning is because I have goals to accomplish. Right. I'm kind of breaking down my morning. This is how I do it. So because I have goals to accomplish, right, and I try to think of all the goals that I have. Um, if I'm going to be honest with myself, that I need to start writing down the end of the year goals with my progress. I have some of the goals I have written down for the rest of the year, but they need to be updated. But yeah, because I have goals to accomplish. And at the top of my goals, at the top of my value hierarchy and what I value in this life, right, is going to be freedom. Freedom is something that I value very, very much so. So, with that being said, I need to make sure I'm pursuing that every single day. I'm laying down the bricks to eventually be free in this life because, quite frankly, freedom, freedom is the only thing worth having in this life, right? We have this fake perception of what freedom looks like, but quite frankly, true freedom, is in the form of financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, and mind freedom, which is something that not many people have. Give me one second. But yes, time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, all that. Give me one second. Hold up, man. I'm gonna make sure this shit's working. All right, perfect. going back to what I was saying. Like I said, time freedom. The basically to have all the time in the world to do whatever you want to do, to spend it exactly how you deem to be worth your time, right? So with time freedom, location freedom, the freedom to do it wherever you want to do it, whenever you want to do it, right? So time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. Obviously, you need financial freedom before you can have any of these freedoms, right? Financial freedom. This is going to be free to, spend as much money wherever you want, to do whatever you want to do, essentially with no limitations or less limitations. Money goes a long way. If you are wealthy in this life, you have a better life than the majority of people, quite frankly. Or you have the potential to have a better life than everybody, or than a lot of people. That's what I will say. Money isn't everything. That's what I will say. But money isn't everything. But it's a fucking lot. I'll tell you that for damn sure. Um, but yeah, you gotta make sure you're building the man, and of course, with building the man is the financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. The last two is going to be mind freedom, the freedom to think your own thoughts and to have your own opinions. Truly, mind freedom. Not many people have mind freedom. It's interesting. It's interesting. And then there's another one. Time freedom, location freedom. I don't know. I forget the other one. But it's pretty much the same thing as the last one that I said. So, um, at the top of my value hierarchy is to be free. So next one is going to be, why am I getting up this morning? To attract the people, opportunities, and things that are meant for me, right? So this is part of building the man as well. I need to be able to vibrate at the frequency in which the people, opportunities, and things that are meant for me vibrate at. So whatever those things are, I need to make sure I'm acting in accordance to eventually achieving those things, eventually having those things in my life. And I'm going to be able to attract these things because I'm going to be able to vibrate at the frequency in which they exist. KJ, I appreciate you for stopping by, my dog. Right on my forehead, KJ. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Where should I put this at? Where should I put this at? I'll put it here for now. But yeah, what I will say though, KJ, is make sure you go and rewatch the podcast. I'm spitting some game. Right here. So along with building the man, like I said, attract the people, opportunities, things that are meant for you. Simple. The next thing on my list is going to be, why am I getting up this morning? To break a curse on the ones who came before me, right? So now you don't know my family life, quite frankly, right? So I'll give you a little bit in depth. I'll give you a little bit in depth, right? So how should I phrase this? There has been a pattern of behavior that has been occurring within my family for as long as I can remember, for as long as I know, right? Where there has been set circumstance, whether this is something that has been placed on them or something that they've chosen to do, that hasn't that 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 hasn't allowed them to express their full potential, right? So these things have held them back, and I would deem to be a curse because, quite frankly, I would never want to be held back in some of these ways that my family was held back. So the reason for me getting up this morning is to build the man, and while building the man, I'm going to break the curse that has been placed on my family, and I'll be the first one to do it, right? So, like I said, fellas, you got to create your why. Create, really, really think, right? These are things that I've really thought about. I've created my why based off of a family curse. A family curse. I say that it sounds bad, quite frankly, but I just been fortunate to be in a position where I can avoid those set circumstances, whether they're placed on me or whether I choose to have those limitations. But I have been fortunate enough to be in the first one, realistically, that has been allowed that opportunity without any limitations, quite frankly. So I appreciate all the sacrifices that my family has made, because now they've allowed me to cultivate a mindset and cultivate a future that is going to be the exact representation of a broken curse. So I'm thankful that they've made their sacrifices because now it allowed me to, like I said, develop this platform, develop this mindset, and live the life that I'm going to live. So why am I getting up this morning? To live my truest, most authentic, and genuine self. With building the man, you need to make sure you're acting in accordance to being your most genuine and true self. And every single time you act every time you act distant away from that, you will be punished. The karma will get your ass 100% of the time if you're not acting genuine, right? You need to make sure you're acting genuine in every single interaction, because if you're not, quite frankly, acting fake or acting less than what you are or acting less than who you are is not a worthy existence at all. That's what I will say, right? Be you, right? And if people don't like you, then people don't like you. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to change your entire perception or entire perspective just so somebody likes you. Quite frankly, right? Um, it is said that you need to be able to fit in, but at the end of the day, um, hold up, OG. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you're still being genuine to yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to go ahead and understand that you are first, right? I appreciate you guys, fellas, for stopping by. Wish y'all would have stopped by 30 minutes ago, but y'all here. It is true that you need to stay aware at all times and always look at the opponent. Always outwork the opponent. Exactly. It's the motto. It's the motto. You know the motto, man. Fellas, we don't just work. We don't just work out here, man. We outwork. Fellas, that's the vibe, man. That's the vibe out here, man. Anything less than that, not good enough for me. Anthony finally made it home. Yes, sir. Appreciate it for stopping by, my dog. Manarchy in the building. We in the building. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it for stopping by, man. This one right here, I've been spitting the game, man. If you are just getting in here now, make sure you go ahead and rewatch the last 30 minutes of this podcast after. But getting back into it, right? Why am I getting up this morning? So just to give you guys some foundation of what I'm talking about right now. So I am talking about building the man and what that means to me, right? And what that means to me. That's a good question, G. Not everybody. Hey, come on. Not everybody's on your team though. The opposition always exists, whether we like to admit it or not. We should be working together. And here's the thing: right now, when we're on this podcast, we're working together. If you're watching this right now, if you're rewatching this podcast, we're working together right now. But at the end of the day, there's still an opposition. You gotta outwork them. Come on now, fellas. All right, but getting back into it, right? So, building the man is the topic for today's podcast, right? So I'm going through all the things that I've written down, which allow me to build the man or have the correct focus early on in the morning. That is going to be the exact contributor to building the man, right? So I'm gonna go through the ones that I went through, give you a brief summary of what I said. So like I said, make sure you go back 30 minutes ago, and to get the full game. Why am I getting up this morning? Because I have to be the leader that my family needs. My family needs a leader, and quite frankly, I have to be that. This is going to be a pressure that I placed on myself, right? Be the leader in your household, fellas. Be the leader in your household. Lead by example. Make sure you're acting in accordance to that every single day. Why am I getting up this morning? Because I have people to make proud, right? These are the whys. These are the whys that I've been talking about, right? I have people to make proud on a daily basis. So I need to make sure I'm acting in accordance with that every single time. Exactly. Exactly. People are slimy. People are slimy by nature, man. People are slimy by nature. But here's the thing, man. That's fine. They get outworked. They get outworked, man. Simple as that, right? Gotta crush your opponent. Simple as that. Why am I getting up this morning? Because I have people depending on me, right? Every single morning, I understand that I have people depending on me. It is an intrinsic pressure that I placed on myself that allows me to really understand that it is bigger than me, right? The only way that the people around me in my life are going to live the best life they possibly can is if I make the sacrifices and do the things that they might not even know to do, right? I need to make sure I'm doing it for the people that are depending on me, right? And this goes beyond even the people that are in my life. This goes beyond, or this goes even into the people that I haven't even met yet, people that don't even know I exist yet, right? I have people depending on me so I can make content, let's just say for the next 3 years, and eventually somebody's going to find my videos and say, hey, this man helped me out, right? I have that person depending on me. And now this is something that it is kind of overthought, but at the same time, it's not. I create my own whys. I create my whys to be as strong as I possibly can. So like I said, when you're slacking, when you feel less disciplined, you still do what you know you need to do. You do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Shout out to Hamza. But getting into what I was saying, right? Then another thing on my list is going to be, why am I getting up this morning, which also is a part of building the man, is to inspire and empower the ones around me and of my influence. I need to make sure I'm leading by example, like I'd mentioned, right? Inspiring by my actions, right? And empowering by allowing others, not allowing others, I don't know why I keep saying that shit. Empower others to recognize that they can do everything and anything that they set their mind to, right? I want to be an example of somebody who buckled down and did what he said he was going to do, and he did it well. He got better every single day. He put in the work every single day and got better, right? I want to be that example for somebody so they can understand and say, hey, Champ is no different than me. If he can do it, I can do it. And it doesn't matter what endeavor it is. It doesn't matter what endeavor it is. I'm not saying, hey, create your own podcast, right? What I'm saying is, hey, if Champ could do something that he set his mind to, why can't I do the things that I set my mind to? So that is another reason why I'm building the man and how I'm building the man, right? So getting into the main point, right? Why am I getting up this morning? Well, I can skip those ones. It's fine. To build the man, right? So I have this written down. What does building the man look like to me? Like I said, this is being a leader. This is acting in accordance to every single day. This is getting up when I'm knocked down. This is staying persistent, staying consistently consistent, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's the game we're playing, fellas. Whoever can stay the most consistent and who is most persistent will prevail. Always. That's always how it is. So yeah, I build the man. So the entire statement is this. Why am I getting up this morning? To build the man my wife and children will love and respect. Right? That is the phrase, right? But I break it down. This is why I got inspiration for this podcast, right? The beginning part is to build the man, right? You need to make sure you're laying down the bricks every single day because every single day is another opportunity to lay down the bricks. Make sure you're doing that, like I said, every single day. Do not let a day go by where you're not contributing something to your empire. The foundation of your success lies in the bricks you lay down every single day. So you got to make sure you're laying down the bricks every single day. So building the man, right? If it doesn't matter what I want in this life, I'm not going to get it unless I build myself up. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this, but not everyone acts as if they know this, right? Um, I'm building the man, quite frankly, so I can attract my wife, so I can attract women in my life that are going to, fulfill my need for a wife or a girlfriend or whatever it is. I'm doing it to attract my potential girlfriend or potential wife, right? With that being said, the only way I'm going to be able to attract her is if I build the man. And by building the man, I'll be able to attract my wife. And with attracting my wife, I'll eventually be able to have children, right? And this is something that, is kind of in the distant future, right? This is something that I'm thinking about, and I'm thinking about, let's just say 8 to 10 years in advance, right? Ideally, I would like to have my first kid about 28. Depending on my success, ideally younger the better. I would say maybe 25. But 28 is where I'm thinking about having children. So 8 to 10 years in advance. You really got to think that far, fellas. You really got to think that far. You got to make sure. At the end of the day, fellas, you're doing it for your legacy. You're doing it for the family that you're going to create. And at the end of the day, you are the foundation of the family. You are the man, right? It all starts with you. You build the man, you build the foundation for the man, and eventually you will have the start of your family. You'll be able to attract your wife, you'll be able to attract your girlfriend, whatever, and eventually, by cultivating a strong relationship with this person that is of high quality, you're eventually going to be able to bring children into this world, which is the creation of your family, right? You are the backbone. Never forget this. You are the backbone, right? You are the foundation. It all starts with you. You are either the reason you are not going to be able to build a family, or you're going to be the reason that you built the family. It's as simple as that. Now, like I said, what is fulfillment in your life? If it's not having a family, good fucking luck, man. If it's not having a family, sure. It's you're still gonna need to build the man. You can't fucking resist building the man. It's at the end of the day, it is rule number 1, 2, and 3 in life, fellas. Rule number 1, build the man. Rule number 2, build the man. Rule number 3, follow rule number 1 and 2. Simple as that, fellas. It's the number 1 rule of life. Build the man. But getting into my other points, I'll go over them briefly. Why am I getting up this morning? To build meaningful relationships. Basically, what I said earlier is, having anything less than a meaningful relationship isn't worth having. So that's why I got rid of casual relations and all that garbage. Because quite frankly, it wasn't serving me and it wasn't bringing me fulfillment. The only thing worth pursuing, like I said, are interactions of meaning. You should not be trying to cultivate a relationship with somebody that isn't worth meaning. Simple. Why am I getting up this morning? I'll go over these quick. Your children will look up to you for things you need to acquire and teach your kids. Exactly. And one thing that I need to mention right there, right, is this right here. Your kids are either going to look at you as an example of what to do, or they're going to look at you as an example of what to avoid or what to not do, right? A lot of people don't think like this. A lot of people do not think like this. Um, Ideally, you want a father that you can look up to, and is the perfect example of what to be as a man, or as a man. I'm gonna say that, or who can lead you to be the best woman that you possibly can be, right? But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you are laying down the bricks, like AJ said, pretty much. Um, so another thing, why am I getting up this morning? Which is part of building the man, is because I have goals to accomplish. Building the man, you need to have goals. You need to make sure you're clear with those goals. You need to make sure you set goals. I would say set goals every single month at the beginning of the month. Set goals that you want to accomplish. Aim high, go hard and paint. Simple as that. That's what it comes down to. Why am I getting up this morning? And to pursue one of my goals, which is to be free. I need to be free. I will be free, right? So with that being said, and I think everyone should pursue freedom. This is going to be in the form of financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, okay, hold on, my bad. Financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, mind freedom, and I had another one, but I forgot. But you need to have freedom in all endeavors in life, right? You do not want to be restrained to anything if you don't need to, right? Build a man so you can have those freedoms in life, right? You should be able to do, as a man. You should be able to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, whoever you want to do it with. Simple, right? But the only way you're going to do that is if you lay down the bricks and build the man, fellas. All right, getting into the next thing. I get up this morning, which part of the building the man is being able to attract the people, opportunities, and things that are meant for me in this life, or meant for you in this life, right? So you got to make sure like I said, you're acting in accordance to what it looks like for you to be the person you need to be in this world, and eventually you'll be able to attract the people, opportunities, and things that are meant for you. All right. Why am I getting up this morning? Yeah, to break a curse on the ones that came before me. And I explained this a little bit earlier, but basically, in my life and in my family, there has been a lot of set circumstances and limiting situations, whether this was a limiting situation that has been placed on them or they either chosen to do that, right? And um, fortunate enough, I'm the first one in my family that has not had those limitations placed on them. So I will make sure I go ahead and take full advantage of that every single day and understand that I'm in a fortunate position and things could be much different, but they're not. And at the end of the day, I got to appreciate the sacrifices that those people before me made for me so it can allow the opportunity for me to build the life that I want to live right now. Anthony said, wake up every day to be a better person or in a better position. Exactly. Than I was in the day before. Always improving me. Exactly. Exactly right, man. Appreciate that. I like that right there. I like that a lot. But getting back to what I was saying, right? Why am I getting up this morning? To live my truest, most authentic, and genuine self. Now we're caught up, fellas. Now we're caught up, right? So, basically, don't be fake. Don't be fake. This life is too short to be fake, right? Be yourself. Be authentic. Be genuine. And be authentic and genuine. Simple as that. Next thing. Why am I getting up this morning? And what is contributing to building the man is going to be to prove myself right. This is how I break this one down, fellas. To prove myself right. Right? Every single day is another opportunity to prove yourself right, to do all the things you said you were going to do, to be the person you said you were going to be, right? To do all the commitments that you said you were going to do, right? To have the self-discipline in order to do those things, right? Every single day is another opportunity for you to prove yourself right. Look at it as that. It is a clean slate every single day. You wake up with a clean slate. You go to bed, you wake up, like I said, clean slate, fellas. Prove yourself right every single day, and quite frankly, give yourself about a year or two, and you're going to be in a way better position than you were when you first started, right? So with this, when it comes to building the man, right? I love this. I love this one right here. All right, this is gonna be funny. Okay, so when you prove yourself right, in nature, if you do something, there's gonna be a reaction, right? Simple, right? When you prove others wrong, you are naturally going to, or when you prove yourself right, you're naturally gonna prove others wrong. I said that, I fucked it up. But yeah, you're gonna prove others wrong, right? And I feel like both should be used as motivation, right? Some people could say that it isn't the most healthy minded motivation, but quite frankly, competition drives men, period, right? And right now, there's people counting you out. And even if there's not actually people counting you out, act as if there is people counting you out. And you will get much farther than majority of people in life, period, right? You gotta use that competition to your advantage. So like I said, some people would say that's not the most healthiest mindset. I would say I don't give a fuck because quite frankly, it's gonna push me to be better than you. Simple, right? Competition drives men, period, right? So I get up every single morning to prove myself right. And by proving myself right, I'm gonna prove others wrong, right? There's people that doubt you. There's people that say you can't do what you want to do. What do you do with those people, fellas? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. To the people who say you can't do it, to the people who pray on your downfall, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do to those people, fellas? Let me know in the comments, man. Getting into the next thing. Why am I getting up this morning? To build the man, right? By building the man, there's automatically going to be people that are going to be haters, right? And along with these haters, there's going to be people that can't see the vision. They can't see the vision for themselves, right? There's plenty of people that exactly, exactly. Simple as that. Add it to the fire. Add it to the fire, man. That's what I'm saying. But getting back into what I was saying, right? There's gonna be people who couldn't see the vision. You leave them alone and pray for them. D, you need to start using motive. You need to start using competition. Competition drives men. Period. No debate. No debate right there. But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But at the end of the day, hey, people are preying on your downfall. Simple as that, right? Laugh at those people before and during and after. Yes, I proved them wrong. Exactly, Anthony. Exactly what I'm saying, man. I agree. I agree, KJ. Yep. Exactly. All right. Going back to what I was saying, right? There's people that can't see the vision, right? So what do you do to those people that can't see the vision, right? And this is something that I always say every single morning, right? Top G, simple. Pretty sure we're talking about GDP, right? Yeah. For the people who can't see the vision, right? There's people that I've explained my vision for this podcast and from my life that they just don't see it. They don't see it the same way I do it, right? And at the end of the day, like I said, fellas, we prove those people wrong. I'm going to be undeniably in the face of all those who said I couldn't do it. I'm going to be undeniably in the face of all those who couldn't see the vision. I will show them. It is going to be a source of fuel. And if you read the book, what is it called? Your Next 5 Moves. Shout out to Patrick Bet-David. Great book. I would recommend everybody watching this to go ahead and use that tool. Read that book. It's definitely a great book. Ultimately, he talks about what drives a person in competition is one of those things. Quite frankly, I've always been a competitive person. Ask Anthony, right? Me and Anthony have always been competitive since fucking day one, whether it's playing Monopoly in the summertime or hooping or playing football. We've always been competitive, right? So I use that to my advantage, and I do not look at it as a disadvantage. There's some people that are not made to use competition as fuel. And what I call those people, I call them soft, fellas. Simple as that. Man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate my dog. Come on now. I appreciate that. It does, but if you spend your energy on someone who wants to defeat you or to deter you from your path, you're giving them what they want. No. Not exactly. Not exactly, my dog. Not exactly. Because here's the thing: if you're putting energy that already exists within the universe and you're putting that back into yourself, you don't lose. You don't lose anything. You don't. It's for example, right? Let's just say you break up with your girl, right? Right? You begin to get in a breakup, right? If you use that motivation, that energy that person gives you, and you put it back into yourself, you don't lose. And it's not like, oh yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I win. He goes to the gym and gets strong as hell. No, she doesn't fucking think like that, right? There's no losing. There's no losing in that. There's no losing in that, my guy. There's no losing. But yeah. The question was, what do you do to the people that are working against you? No, what do you tell those people? that are working against you? What do you tell them? You prove them wrong. What do you do? You prove them wrong. Simple as that. I'm gonna prove people wrong just by being me, just by doing the things that I do, just by accomplishing my goals. I'm gonna prove other people wrong. Simple as that. It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct. I'm not strategically doing it to prove people wrong. It is going to it is just going to naturally happen, right? But yeah, you don't say anything. I don't understand. I don't understand that. I don't understand that mindset, quite frankly. But maybe you can explain it to me another time. But getting back to what I was saying, why am I getting up this morning? Yeah, right. This is a quote that Steph Curry said. He goes, "From underrated to undeniable." That is the quest that I am on. And if you see, I think it's on my Instagram bio for a Life of Champ podcast. But yeah, I'm on the quest from underrated to undeniable. Right now, I'm underrated. Everyone watching this, I'm sure you can see that I'm underrated. Right? I be giving out the game. The quality of the content isn't terrible quality, right? Um, Obviously, only have 3 people watching, but at the end of the day, I'm underrated right now. But eventually, I will be undeniable. I will undeniably be in the face of all those who said I couldn't do it, and it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Just by me doing what I need to do is going to happen, fellas. Why am I getting up this morning? This is another one right here. It's similar. It's a very similar quote, right? It's by Big Sean. It's in what's the song called? It's with Jeezy and Big Sean. Uh, hey, KJ's literally he's literally manifesting it for me, my dog. Simple as that. But getting back into what I was saying, right? The quote by Big Sean is started off getting overlooked, man. Turn that shit into overbooked, man. Simple as that. We're on the question. I'm overlooked right now, fellas. I'm overlooked. You watching this right now, you know I'm overlooked. That's fine. Because eventually I'll be overbooked. And that's all it comes down to, right? You put in the work daily, you get the results. Simple as that. Simple. Simple. Anthony knows what the fuck I'm talking about. He knows what time I'm on. And then at the end of this, when it comes to building the man, this is going to be one of those things that maybe D might not agree with. You're probably not even watching right now. I probably turned it off. But it is going to be this mindset that dude, you cannot lose with this mindset. You cannot lose with this mindset. It is only going to give you extra fuel. And me and Anthony were talking about this earlier today when we were working out, fellas. Shout out to the person who gave me the motivation, but give me 1 second, man. Give me the extra fuel, man. It is this right here. It is the mindset that I will have the last laugh always. Now it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how you use this, it just matters if you have it in your toolbox, fellas. If you have the mindset that I will have the last laugh always, that gives you the extra fuel to go the extra mile. I'm gonna let you know right now. I've used this in my life. And I'll let you know right now that it's gonna give you the extra fuel. I will have the last laugh. This is my mindset. If somebody does me wrong, that is fine. If somebody doesn't choose me, that is fine. Because at the end of the day, I will have the last laugh, right? This is an undefeated mindset, right? A podcast that I'm gonna have coming up is going to be undefeated mindsets. It is going to be things that give you the extra fuel. I'm surprised I haven't done that yet, but I'm gonna write down maybe like I don't know. I'm gonna do a lot of them. Because I got a lot. I already have a lot written down. I'll probably do like 30 piece, simple 30 piece, fellas. And then yeah, I'll do 30 piece. 30 undefeated mindsets that you need to acquire, that you need to think about daily, that'll give you the extra juice, let you go the extra mile, let you go the extra rep. You need all these things. Give me a second. These podcasts remind me of class every day, but instead it actually speaks facts. I always take notes and take what I've learned from these lessons and put them into real life. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot right there, my guy. Yeah, I hope I'm a spitting, but I hope it's not like a class, my dog. Ain't no way. It's like you're just chilling with the boys, man. That's all it is, man. That's all it is, man. But yeah, like I said, I got the game, man. I've been anybody that knows me knows that I've been on my self-development journey for a minute now. So, with that being said, I've been putting in the work, fellas. I've done the research. I've taken the time. I've watched the videos. I read the books. I've acquired the knowledge, some of the knowledge. Of course, there's plenty of more knowledge to acquire, but I've acquired some knowledge. And quite frankly, like I said, fellas, we're on the quest from underrated to undeniable at the end of the day. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Make sure you go and leave a like. If you're watching this, make sure you want to let me know your favorite part about this podcast. And other than that, fellas, I'll be having another podcast on Tuesday. Make sure you look forward to that. Also, I'll be having some TikToks I post on Monday, so make sure you go ahead and stay tuned in for that as well. Other than that, fellas, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Give me 1 second. All right, fine. I appreciate that. Other than that, fellas, unlike class, we don't sleep on these lessons. Man, Anthony, spin facts, man, spin facts. At the end of the day, fellas, we don't just work. We outwork, fellas. That is the mindset. That is the mindset, fellas. That is going to be the last piece of game I give on today's podcast. This was Life of a Champ podcast, episode number 62, talking about building the man. I appreciate everyone stopping by. And like I said, I have a next podcast going to be on Tuesday. So make sure you go ahead and tap in with that. Other than that, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And like I said, until Tuesday.